All right, I'd like to introduce everyone to Matthew Holloway, who is amazing and has 25 years of experience in UI design, which I think is really long.
Yeah, that explains the gray hair.
He is, he's taught at, the renowned D School at Stanford, the Royal College of Art in London, Malmo in Sweden, Ohio State, and the list really goes on. He's also worked for notable companies such as SAP most recently, but Apple, Netscape, WebMD, some of the most beautiful products have been designed from some of these companies. Right. So I want to start off by asking Matt about what keeps him challenged and motivated in this line of work.
I think the thing that is the most motivating is the diversity of projects. And so more and more companies are adding more things online that have computer interfaces and digital interfaces to them. So there's a lot of things to work on. There's a lot of diversity in the projects, which is really appealing. And I think that it's kind of an ever-evolving and ever-changing set of solutions and products and opportunities, keeping pace with kind of changes in society and culture. So when I first started doing this, the users were pretty limited to kind of the high-tech, technician type folks. Now everyone has a cell phone with an interface on it. So it's really kind of keeping pace with kind of that generational shift and the expectations they have as well.
So what are you seeing in terms of as a field? Are you seeing the UI field, the demand for it sort of growing? And
very much so. The really well-trained and well-qualified interaction designers are getting snapped up. It's really hard to recruit. The last two roles that I've had, I've been asked to build design teams kind of from the ground up, and being able to staff these teams has been a real challenge, just to be able to find people. The demand for interaction designers and user experience designers is so high that they can basically go anywhere. Every company basically has a design team at this point. So the demand is really outpacing the supply of designers. So.
Do you think it's also because, like you mentioned earlier when we were talking about mobile devices and...
Yeah, everything, the pervasiveness of kind of the devices that are smart, that have a connection to them. Everything anymore basically is talking to everything else. The kitchen appliances are talking to each other. Your cell phone is talking to your TV set. It's talking to your home security system or your car, not to mention all of your other friends' cell phones. So just the amount of products that are out there that need this type of design talent to make them successful is growing exponentially. And so that will continue to happen for the foreseeable future. So the opportunities to be able to jump in and really contribute to those products is huge.
When you've been teaching at the various schools that you've taught at, what is the type of student that you see most successful in this field?
Yeah, I think kind of from a personality perspective, the biggest thing is having empathy with the people who will be using your products. So really, people who come in and kind of say, I have the best idea and I'm just going to force it on somebody because I'm a designer and I'm talented. Those people usually get pretty frustrated because unless they just happen to be like just a really brilliant designer, it's not like fashion design where people buy the vision. In interaction design, people want to buy a solution to their problem. And so people who have a stronger sense of empathy or compassion for the people who will be using their products typically can create solutions that people like and enjoy a lot more. In the kind of the choices of buying phones and devices that are all kind of technology driven, the idea of joy becomes a much bigger factor in somebody's purchasing decision. So if it makes them happy, if it puts a smile on their face, if they feel good using it, they'll probably want to buy that product. With fashion, a lot of people will sacrifice comfort for style.
Right.
And all of my friends who buy high heel shoes will attest to that. So
empathy being sort of the soft trait personality,
yeah.
But what about, you know, when combining the various...
The background, like
yeah.
So I think the two big areas that people usually come from are kind of traditional design, art type of background, where they can create and they can draw and they can sketch, and they're you know, kind of the creative people. And then there's the people who come from more of a human factors or cognitive psychology background, who are more kind of the analysts around kind of understanding what people are doing and how they're working in the systems aspect. People who can merge those two things together tend to be the most successful. So if you're going through a traditional design program, getting a lot of the cognitive psychology coursework is important. And the reverse is also true. If you're in a cognitive psych program, being able to get into some of the design courses would be really beneficial as well.
So, you know, maybe if you can reflect on kind of what an UI project that you worked on, the one you mentioned, and just give us a sense of, you know, why you're in here in this field.
So previously I mentioned when I was at WebMD, we worked on an online health record that was designed for families. So the idea was that mom would be able to enter information about her spouse, herself, the kids, her parents, in-laws, etc., to be able to track their health conditions over a long period of time. That particular product, we were kind of on the cutting edge of digital health at WebMD, and the opportunity to be able to build a product that had such a strong emotional impact on people's lives was really very rewarding. When we would test the new products, we would test them with groups of people. Like one group that we tested them with was parents who had chronically ill children. And so just being able to listen to how we helped those people really changed the point of view of many of my colleagues. A lot of them just broke down in tears. I used to get the emails from our users who would give us feedback on the product, and I would share them with the development team. And one of the women was from Los Angeles, and our product, she'd used our product with her mother who had really severe diabetes, and her mother's legs were going to be amputated. But she was able to use our online health record that also connected with physicians to find a doctor who could do the microvascular surgery to keep her mother's legs from being amputated. And as I read this letter, which was very emotional, to the development team, basically the whole room was in tears by the time they were done with it, because they realized that they had built something that really helped save this woman's life. So those types of products they don't happen every day, but when they do happen, it really makes everything else worth it. That you can really have a really positive impact on people. So.
Great. Well, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.